it is, folks, the Nissan GT-R. This thing is an absolute beast. If you don't know much about a GT-R, let me tell you a few things. 545 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque. This car does 0 to 60, 2.7 seconds, almost 200 miles per hour. This thing was just built to go. So not only does the GT-R go, it stops on a dime. Huge Brembo brakes. This one here is featuring 20-inch tires front and rear, and this thing will stop on a dime. So the GT-R has a 3.8-liter V6 engine, twin turbos. The amount of boost it produces is ridiculous to get up to 545 horsepower. Like I said, the speed on this car is almost incomprehensible until you drive it. Think of this car as like the Mike Tyson of cars. You know, it's like, you know it's going to be dangerous, you know it's probably going to hurt, but you're just not ready for the butt whooping this thing is going to do. And let me tell you, if you're another car on the road, you are not going to beat this car. It is insane. So let's look at what's under the hood on the pointy end of the GT-R. There we go. 3.8-liter, 6-cylinder, twin turbo. So all of these engines are hand-built in Japan. There were 4 engineers that built every GT-R engine, basically. Let's take a look. This one here is hand-built by, okay, I have no clue how to say this guy's first name, but Mr. Gazu or Gozu, thank you. You did a fantastic job. So the question that always comes to mind with people is just how fast is a GT-R? Is it a myth? Is it the truth? Is it something from another planet? I mean, this car is legendary. And what makes it so legendary is just the brutal performance of this car. The speed is breathtaking. This car does everything it can to make you lose your license as fast as possible. It's crazy. So pretty much everything about the GT-R was done in the quest for speed. It was just built to absolutely demolish every other vehicle on the highway. So let's take it on the highway, see how we do. Holy moly. Hello. Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, it is that fast. It is that fast. Anyway, let's see. So now we're going at usual highway speeds. So anyway, let's go from the usual highway speed. Yeah, that is shockingly quick. I don't know how you can really describe the pick up the acceleration. Just the brutal force that this car produces. It really just wants to take every other car on the road and just kill it, you know, just like viciously murder it. It is unbelievably fast. Hello. Yeah. This is not going to end well for anyone's driver's license. So let's just say you're driving along nice and merrily at the speed limit and you want to pass someone. From the time that you drop the hammer until you've left that person about a quarter mile in the back, your license will be gone. It is gone. There is no gray area in between, and this thing is so fast. It's kind of mind-boggling. It's really kind of bizarre. I mean, I've driven fast cars in my life. I've had Subaru WRX STIs. I had a Pro-charged 5-liter 2016 Mustang. I've had Camaro 1LE track package cars. Fast Audis. I mean, everything I've had's been kind of fast. But this is fast. Okay, so here comes kind of a fun little exit ramp right here. So let's see how she does as far as the ride goes, I mean, it really isn't bad. I mean, it's, you know, I've got on the R mode now. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's firm. I mean, it lets you know it's got a grip on the road, but it's not uncomfortable at all. I mean, you don't even notice these corners. Yeah, that was there even a corner there? Nope. So what's it like driving a GTR just on an average day? You're going to work, going out for the evening, just an average day. It really isn't that bad. I mean, it is what it is. The GTR has never made any kind of false promises that it's a luxury grand touring car. It is just a brutal exhibition of pure horsepower, and the transfer of that horsepower to the wheels to propel this thing to epic speeds. So if you're not familiar with a GTR, there's going to be things that are going to be kind of weird when you first drive this car. It makes a lot of strange noises. The DCT transmission, the dual clutch transmission, it's purpose built. It was purpose built for a racetrack. And then somehow they got it to work on the road back in basically 2009. It's visceral. It holds. There's no comfort to it. It just gets you through the gears in lightning speed. The car is just built for one thing, and that is to go, and go with great force. So if you're looking for a comfy, cozy, quiet car that everyone's going to get into and just be like, oh, this is so comfortable and so beautiful, and it rides like a dream, and it's so quiet, it's like a Lincoln or something. It absolutely is not. This is not that car. This car is brutal. It's fast. It's probably the most fun car you will ever drive, and it's going to make some weird noises that you're not going to be prepared for, basically. The brakes are noisy, the transmission's noisy, the rear differential is noisy, the engine's noisy, and it's really cool noises. I'm telling you, it's fun. As far as how does a GTR handle, I mean, it really just does things that no car should be able to do. I mean, the turn-in, unbelievable. This car does, I mean, just the handling of it's unbelievable. It kind of takes your breath away, to tell you the truth. It's just, if you haven't driven a GTR, you just need to drive one, because it is that good. Okay, breathing again, good to go. Yeah, so as far as our turn-in, perfect. The suspension is great. Actually, I haven't set it in the medium mode right now. Let's put it in sport mode. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, I mean, the handling is unbelievable. The thing is glued to the road. It feels like it just wants to rip the concrete out and spit it out behind every other vehicle behind it, because it really is Godzilla, right? It just wants to destroy everything in its way, and it does it very, very well. it's not subtle. It is not subtle at all. Oh, all right. So for the Canyon, like I said, now I've got it in the race mode. I mean, the body roll is not. I mean, it's just enough to mechanically have to do it, I guess, for whatever the body roll minimals would be. As far as the noises, like I said, yeah, it's a noisy car. I mean, you're going to have, you know, road noise vibrations come through, but that's because everything was designed just to go fast. It wasn't designed to be a comfortable cruiser. It was just designed to absolutely haul the mail. I mean, and if this thing's hauling the mail, we're talking it's like the 2-hour delivery mail. I mean, it's crazy. So when it comes to the interior of the GTR, it's a nice place to be. I mean, this car was built basically for the driver. Everyone else is kind of secondary in this car. Don't get me wrong, the passenger seats are great. However, the rear seat, unless you're carrying like a 1-gallon jug of milk back from the store, there's really not much going on back there. As far as the driver seating position control, there's just a large knob right here. It was really well done. Forward, backward, up, down, twist, backrest, twist, backrest, back. I mean, really well thought out. I mean, it's just easy to use. There's not a big, huge amount of buttons. The heated seats are right down here, which I always thought was kind of a weird placement for them. Half the time, people don't even know you have heated seats in the car. As far as the steering wheel, just a nice steering wheel, nice to hold on to. The paddle shifters are awesome, big, so you can really reach them at any angle, basically. Nicely done. As far as the center console, this is kind of cool. So what you do is you basically tip this, and then the whole console, including the instrument cluster, moves with you as well. So that's kind of neat, you know. And the one thing that this car doesn't have is a heads-up display, but because this cluster moves with the steering wheel, it's pretty much always in the perfect position as far as seeing your gauges, as far as speedometer and tachometer and some of the gauges. As far as the interior, I like it. This particular one is all kind of like the black on black interior, and I think it just really works really well. Nicely done. As far as headroom goes, I'm pretty darn good. I'd probably lower the seat down a little bit for track day so I can put my helmet on, but I don't see a problem wearing a helmet on here during a track day. So as far as the driving position, yeah, I mean, spot on. Nicely done. Let's take a look at what's going on behind the steering wheel on the GTR. So like I said, great steering wheel. Just feels really good to the hand. Controls is obviously for your cruise control, stereo controls, some other kinds of controls on there. You can work them out when you get it. It's got quite a few buttons on it. Huge paddle shifters, really good feel to them, metallic feel. Like I said, as far as adjusting the gauge and the steering, I mean, it's pretty cool. Tilt here, and then this other one, which is right here, will do up and down. As I said, as you can see, the whole cluster moves along with you as you raise it up or down. So like I said, the one thing I wish it did have was the heads-up display, but to tell you the truth, in order for you to really get a sense of what's going on the heads-up display, it would have to be huge, because this car is so fast you can't take your mind off of what's going on ahead of you, and the heads-up display would just be pretty much probably a distraction. You probably wouldn't even notice it. As far as the center console, pretty cool. So this screen right here, there was a guy, I don't know if you guys have played this game called Gran Turismo, but he was the one that basically did all the graphics and stuff as far as the screen goes. This one here shows boost, oil pressure, coolant temperature, fuel flow, transmission oil pressure, transmission oil temp, and it has multiple different views, right? Boost, I mean, all these different things you can put on here. Really cool. And you can actually also select how you want the screen to look by moving the gauges that you want into the positions that you want. I mean, it has all kinds of cool stuff. This one here, I didn't even know it really had this, to tell you the truth. So here's a 0 to 60 time log type deal. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, it has everything on board, right? Go to the map. Okay, so the graphics are a little bit older. However, who really cares? I mean, how often do you really use the navigation in a car? I always use my cell phone. However, still nice. You got the graphics on there. As far as voice commands, all kinds of different stuff. I mean, choose your region wherever you are. Obviously, you can link your phone into it as well. So everything you really need. As far as the other controls here, it looks like a sea of buttons, but don't worry, it isn't really as bad as it looks. Basically, these ones on up here control the stereo system from here on up. These ones here are for the heating and air conditioning controls. And then these ones here are very unique to the GTR. These are the R settings, okay? So when you get into the car, of course the start button is down here, the start button's here. This one here is kind of a weird spot I always thought. But it was the, in a way it makes sense. It's a 12-volt outlet. So you can plug in like your radar detector, that kind of stuff. And at first I always thought it was a weird spot because I always thought kind of the start button goes here. I'm just so used to the keyholes. But the key goes right here. So anyway, as far as the buttons go, once you start the car up, okay, hold them up, R mode, R mode, R mode. Now this means that you're getting down to boogie because this thing is going to be ferocious. As far as the launch control, you would set in these settings. I would normally set it back to comfort mode just so the rear end settles down on the car when you launch from the line. Next thing you do is you'd press the brake pedal as hard as you can to the ground, and then basically just hit the gas pedal. RPMs will build up to about 4,000, 5,000 RPM, and just let go of the brake pedal with the throttle pedal fully to the floor, and you are going to launch like crazy. It is insane. So as far as the rear seat in the car, well, yeah, it has one. I don't really think it really counts, though. I mean, you cannot fit a normal human being back here. You could probably fit your 6-year-old, maybe your 8-year-old, and that's about it. Like I said, a gallon of milk fits pretty well back here. Has one cup holder, and of course the Bose speaker subwoofers are back there. But I mean, come on, this car was not really built to be used as an Uber or something. You're not taking people around. This was built just to fly and have fun with. And I'm sorry if you're in the back seat, but whew, good luck. Yes, of course, the GTR does have a trunk, but we're not going to really waste our time with that because the only thing you're going to be putting there is a day bag, suitcase, something like that. That isn't why you got the car, even though it is actually a pretty good size. So that's it, folks. 2014 Nissan GT-R. If you want to get the last car you're probably ever going to own, it would be this car. Not because you're getting old and you're going to die, because you're going to lose your driver's license. It's just that simple. GT-R.